Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe. Jai Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jai Subhadra. Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Haribol. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stotra Sada Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace Śrīla Bhai Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stotra Sada Shri Śrīmad His Divine Grace Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जाय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जाय। नवद्वीप श्री मायपुर धाम की जाय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाय। गंगा माँ यमुना माई की जाय। वृंदादेवी तुलसी महारानी की जाय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय। श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जाय। The most merciful Lordship Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Radha Madhava, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Shri Shri Gaunithai की जाय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जाय। सामवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की जाय। निथाय गौर प्रेमानंदे All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatir Uttama-sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So today we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 1. This invocation also I'll read. Was it read? Sorry? Sri Sukadeva Variyan Eshate Prashnaha Variyan Eshate Prashnaha Kruto Loka Hitam Nrupa Kruto Loka Hitam Nrupa Atmavit Sammata Pumsham Atmavit Sammata Pumsham Shrotavyadishu Yapparaha Shrotavyadishu Yapparaha Sri Sukavacha Variyan Eshate Prashnaha Kruto Lokahitam Nrupa Atmavit Sammata Pumsham Shrotavyadishu Yapparaha Sri Sukavacha Variyan Eshate Prashnaha Kruto Lokahitam Nrupa Atmavit Sammata Pumsham Shrotavyadishu Yapparaha. Sri Sukavacha Variyaneshate Prashnaha Kruto Lokahitam Nrupa Atmavit Sammata Pumsham Shrotavyadishu Yapparaha. Sri Sukavacha Variyan Eshate Prashnaha Kruto Lokahitam Nrupa Atmavit Sammata Pumsham Shrotavyadishu Yapparaha. Sri Sukavacha Variyan Eshate Prashnaha Kruto Lokahitam Nrupa Atmavit Sammata Pumsham Shrotavyadishu Yapparaha. Any Matajis? Sri Sukavacha Variyan eshate prashnaha Kuto lokahitam nripa Atmavid sammata pumsham Srotavadishu yapparaha Sri Sukha Uvacha Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Variyan, glorious, Eshaha, this, Te, your, Prashnaha, question, Krutaha, made by you, Lokahitam, beneficial for all men, Nripa, O king, Atmavid, transcendentalist, Sammataha, approved, Pumsham, of all men, Srotavyadishu, in all kinds of hearing, Ya, what is, Paraha, the Supreme. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, My dear king, your question is glorious because it is very beneficial to all kinds of people. The answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing, and it is approved by all transcendentalists. Please repeat. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, My dear king, your question is glorious because it is very beneficial to all kinds of people. The answer to this question is the prime subject matter for hearing, and it is approved by all transcendentalists. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki. Even the very question is so nice that it is the best subject matter for hearing. Simply by such questioning and hearing, one can achieve the highest perfectional stage of life. Because Lord Krishna is the original Supreme Person, any question about Him is original and perfect. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that the highest perfection of life is to achieve the transcendental loving service of Krishna. Because questions and answers about Krishna elevate one to that transcendental position. The questions of Maharaja Pariksit about Krishna philosophy are greatly glorified. Maharaja Pariksit wanted to absorb his mind completely in Krishna, and such absorption can be effected simply by hearing about the uncommon activities of Krishna. For instance, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that simply by understanding the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's appearance, disappearance, and activities, one can immediately return home back to Godhead and never come back to this miserable condition of material existence. It is very auspicious, therefore, to hear always about Krishna. So, Maharaja Pariksit requested Sukadeva Goswami to narrate the activities of Krishna so that he could engage his mind in Krishna. The activities of Krishna are non-different from Krishna himself. As long as one is engaged in hearing such transcendental activities of Krishna, he remains aloof from the conditional life of material existence. The topics of Lord Krishna are so auspicious that they purify the speaker, the hearer, and the inquirer. They are compared to the Ganges water which flow from the toe of Lord Krishna. Wherever the Ganges water go, they purify the land and the person who bathes in them. Similarly, Krishna Katha or the topics of Krishna are so pure that wherever they are spoken, the place, the hearer, the inquirer, the speaker, and all concerned become purified. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणां। Very happy to be here with all of you once again to participate in glorification of Krishna is the most desired activity of a devotee. As Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Madchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantasya Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So my pure devotees always speak about me. Actually, pure devotees speak about Krishna, and ordinary devotees, by speaking and hearing about Krishna, get purified. They come to a pure state. So, there are two kathas. One is called Krishna Katha, another is called Gramya Katha. Gramya Katha means discussion about worldly subject matters, politics, sociology, or all kinds of familial things. So when people congregate together, they come together, they generally speak about these things. That is what Sukadeva Goswami is going to say. Shrotavyadini Rajendra Nranam Santi Sahasrasaha Apashyatam Atmatattvam Gruheshu Gruhamedina. Immediately he says that in the next sloka. That people found hundreds and thousands of topics to discuss except Krishna Katha. You see the number of channels today is so mind-blowing. Every day newer channels are increasing, right? Thousands of channels are there. All over the world, maybe a million channels are there, I don't know. And all of them are 24 hours, 24/7. Shri Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Shri Gaunithai Ki Jai. So all these channels are talking about something or the other, something which is transient in nature. Transient means which is not going to be permanent. What is the use of speaking about some personality who has done something here and gone? There are many people in this world who may do some glorious, so-called glorious things. This world itself, please make sure that the children don't make noise. Thank you. So many personalities may come in this world and they may do so-called glorious things. It is glorious only for some time. Why? Because this world itself is temporary. There are so many yugas are coming and going. So many personalities may be coming and going, and now we don't even remember the names. Even in Bhagavatam, such glorious personalities who have ruled the kingdom of Bharatavarsha, even those names we are not very familiar with. Now what to speak of ordinary people who for political purposes, who might have done something here. So the point is that Gramya Katha is actually very, very degrading one's consciousness. It makes you get attached to this world. Whereas Krishna Katha has uplifting potency. So, but Krishna Katha has to be heard properly, from proper source, in a proper attitude. Then one can be uplifted. Grama Katha can be spoken by anybody and discussed by anybody, because it is very degrading. In fact, in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, first canto, Narada Muni says to Vyasadeva, anything which does not glorify Krishna is actually the pilgrimage of crows, he says. Have you seen crows crawling on something? Crows coming together on something. And what is that something? Filth. That's filth. As soon as there is filth, so many crows come and then participate in that. So he says, anything which is not connected to Krishna is filth. Even not doing anything also, even if you don't participate, even if you become neutral, he is not happy with that. Naishkarmyam api achyuta bhava varjitam. Api achyuta bhava varjitam. Achyuta bhava means Krishna bhava. Achyuta, Krishna's another name is Achyuta. So anything which does not bring in bhava for Krishna, it is varjitam. Apyuchata bhava varjitam. Naishkarmyam api achyuta bhava varjitam. Which does not glorify Krishna, even the so-called not doing anything, so-called meditation, austerity, penance, which does not have anything to do with Krishna Katha, is also useless. So something is neutral, something is positive, something is negative. Positive is Krishna Katha, negative is Gramya Katha, and neutral is like a Mayavadi or a Brahmavadi who does not want to participate in anything, because he thinks that if I participate in this activity, I get entangled. I don't want to get entangled. So go to the Himalayas or go to some place where you don't have to deal with anybody and you are just to yourself and you are meditating. So even that is condemned by Narada Muni, because that has nothing to do with active service to Krishna. So that is why it is said, one must participate in Krishna's service. But how do you participate in Krishna's service without hearing about Krishna? You don't like to serve anyone unless your heart comes in to serve that person. And how the heart will come in? Only when you hear about such a person. The glorious qualities of Krishna, the glorious nature of Krishna, the glorious nature of Krishna's devotees, and the sweet exchanges between Krishna and Krishna's devotees, all of this should be compiled as one subject matter, and that subject matter is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. In Bhagavad Gita also, there was discussion between Krishna and Arjuna, but that discussion is more of a philosophical discussion. But in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the discussion is all about various glories of Krishna in various incarnations and the exchanges between Krishna and his devotees. How sweet they are. So unless we are tuned to this kind of hearing, all the other hearing is useless. So he's saying, that is why he's saying, what is saying? Variyan eshate prashnaha. Variyan means, they are very, very top class questions that you have asked. Top class question. What is the top class question? Because answers depend on questions. Questions are not the only ones that you ask outside. Every face is a question. I can see a question in every face. Don't mean literally. But when you look at people, there are people who have questions, people who are lost. I see a lot of lost faces. They're lost to what? Lost to material world. They have nothing to do with spiritual inquiry. Here is this man, a great man, this is considered as $1 million question. In the material world they say $1 million question. This is more than $1 million question. What Pariksit Maharaj asked. Because it immediately brought about the ethos in that place. It's a very important question. What is that important question that he asked? My dear sir, simple question. It's not a very elaborate, question. It's a simple question. The simple question is, sir, can you please tell what is the duty of every man, especially the duty of a dying man? This is the question. How important this question is. Because every man is going to die. Every person is going to die. And when they are going to die, nobody knows. And if they are not prepared for death, then their lifetime is wasted, because human form of life is to actually become successful. At the end of human life, if you are not successful, this opportunity is lost. And when this opportunity is lost, you don't know whether you will get this human form or not. 84 lakhs of species are there, and we are taking it lightly as if it is our birthright to take another human form. Who knows whether you will get human form or not? You're taking it for granted. And for us, a lot of time is already wasted in human form. Although Prahlad Maharaj says that, in human form you begin your Krishna consciousness at the age of 5. Kaumare achret prajna dharman bhagavataniha. So where is 5 years? 5 years we were completely ignorant. We were doing all kinds of, mischievous activities in schools. And then we grow up a little bit, take a little education, and doing mischievous activities in colleges. And then we are running after some job, marriage, children. Life is just going on. Isn't it? Life is just going on. Every day passing. One sunrise and one sunset, one day is gone. There is Bhagavatam sloka to that effect. One day is gone, and one day is gone. One opportunity to please Krishna, serve Krishna, hear about Krishna is gone. So that is why they are saying this. What is the duty of a person, especially the duty of a man who is going to die? And everyone is going to die. And here Maharaj Pariksit has at least confirmed 7 days because of the curse. The curse is that within 7 days you are going to leave the body. That is a curse. It would have been nice if somebody curses us like that, isn't it? At least we'll have confirmed time. Now we don't have a confirmed time also. You can just pass away, just going on the road, and something comes and may hit you, and then you're gone. But you are damn sure that I'm going to live long. Isn't it? Every one of us are damn sure about our longevity of life. And that is why Maharaj Yudhishthir was asked by this Yaksha, who was actually Yamadharmaraj, came in the form of Yaksha, and asked him, what is the most amazing thing, most surprising thing that you find in this world? His answer was that everybody thinks that he will not die, although he sees everyone around him dies. We are not so excited with this answer. Actually, we should be excited with this answer, because that is what our consciousness is, isn't it? We are seeing everyone around us are dying, but we think that I have a long life. This is the most surprising thing. And this is called Maya. Maya means, seeing things in a very different way. That which is not, that which is untruth. Anybody can pass away anytime. There is no conformity. And Maharaj Pariksit has conformity of 7 days. They said that within 7 days you are going to be bitten by a snake called Takshaka, and you are going to pass away. So he is very much concerned not only about him, he is concerned about everybody else in this world. What is the duty of every man, especially a dying man? So he is going to give a very direct answer. Maharaj Sukadeva Goswami is going to give a direct answer. The direct answer is that Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi. Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha. Dhyeya Pujyascha Nityada. Dhyeya Pujyascha Nityada. Same thing. In another sloka in first canto, same thing. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma. O Bharata, O descendant of Bharata, Maharaja Pariksit, Sarvatma means every man, every person, every human being should do this. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma, what is that? Bhagavan Ishvaro Harihi. One must identify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Ishvara, Hari, and what they should do. Shrotavyaha, first thing that you should do is hear about Krishna. Kirtitavyaha, you should glorify Krishna. Pujya, you should worship Krishna. Dhyeyaha means you should remember Krishna. And in another place, Ichchatam akuto bhayam, if you want to be out of bhaya, bhaya means fear. Fear of what? We are fear of what? The fear of death. If you want to get out of the fear of death, then you should do the same thing. Hear about Krishna, remember Krishna, glorify Krishna. This is the simple solution. So, this question is considered to be a very important question, Maharaja Pariksit's question. In the first canto also, the sages of Naimisharanya asked the same question. Questions like, who is the hero in so-and-so cinema? People are so inquisitive. Who directed that movie? Which, what is the score? Those days, when we were very, young children, everybody would have a transistor radio. TVs were not there those days. And anybody who would go hearing the commentary of the cricket commentary. What is the score now? Who got out? This was the usual exchange between people. These are the most useless questions. What does it matter? Who is running out? Who is bowled out? Who has done how much score? All the record books they have kept so carefully, isn't it? They have fed all this in the data. So that any time anybody's records can be revoked or brought about. But they have forgotten completely Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the greatest epic which was registered, the conversation between the sages of Naimisharanya and Sukadeva Goswami, or the conversation between Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaja Pariksit. So, Yat Krita Krishna Samprashno, any question which is related to Krishna, Ye Atma Suprasidati, this will completely purify and satisfy our hearts. So, what kind of questions are we getting? We may not ask questions, but there are questions. Everybody has questions. You agree with me? Prabhupada says everybody has questions. And you all the time, okay, what is the time now? That's a question. When is prasadam time? That's a question. So it is very clearly, it is said, where is your inquisitiveness? That indicates when the class will be over. That's another question. Very important question for many people. You know what? Somebody told me, after Mangalarati, you chant japa and then you attend Darshanarati. By then you are very tired because, the previous day you got up, the previous day you probably, slept late or, you didn't have enough rest and you got up now. Now after that, this Jai Radha Madhava song, when you hear, during Bhagavatam class, it is like a Jolapata, Jai Radha Madhava means this person slowly gets into the sleep. And then Bhagavatam class makes you enter into deeper sleep. It's like, Jo Achyutananda, Jo Mukunda. And then what? What wakes up a person? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. That's the announcement which wakes up the person. And then what invigorates a person is Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnav. It is so funny, isn't it? What is supposed to actually bring us to life, that is what is making us sleep in Bhagavatam class. Don't sleep in Bhagavatam class. Because Bhagavatam class is the only time where you can exercise your intelligence. Everything else can be done mindlessly. You cannot do Bhagavatam class mindlessly. Either you have to sleep, it is not possible to sit in Bhagavatam class in a mindless manner. Am I right? Very difficult. Even if you try to sit in Bhagavatam class, if the speaker is a poking speaker, he will not let you think something else. He will bring you back. All of us have experience. Either you have to sleep or you have to go away to escape from Bhagavatam class. Because Bhagavatam class brings you to reality. That is what is the Bhagavatam class meant for. So, here, very wonderfully he is saying, first of all, Sukadeva Goswami started speaking by appreciating Maharaja Pariksit's question. What a wonderful question that you have asked, my dear Maharaja Pariksit. Variyan eshate prashnaha. The question is very, very wonderful question, because it is going to uplift the consciousness of people in general, because it is going to be about Krishna. As Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanmanaiti mameti so Arjuna. Anything about my appearance, my activities, it is going to give you liberation. You don't have to come back here to this world. That is the power of the potency of Krishna Katha. But there are certain guidelines to hear about Krishna Katha. You can't hear Krishna Katha from anyone. Avaishnavod mukodgirnam putam harikatamrutam shravana naiva kartavyam sarpochishta yatapahaha. There is a warning that is given. The warning is that don't hear from non-devotees who are beating the husk for something. They don't have anything. They don't have actually glories of Krishna in their heart, because they are not actually devotees. They are not practicing devotees. Don't hear from them. Only who speak about eulogy. There are so many Mayavadis, so many powerful speakers who speak about so many things. But you look at their life has no way connected with Krishna. It's like, they have opened a big supermarket. And anybody who comes with anything, they will speak about it. Take it. What are you eating, sir, in your house? You may have a supermarket and you have all kinds of things, all kinds of vegetables. What we are interested is what you are actually eating in your house. That is what we are interested. There are some farmers, let us say they have 10 acres of land. 9.5 acres of land, they will, use these pesticides. The remaining, half acre or 1 acre, they put pure things. And whatever they grow, they take it home and then they eat it. And all the 9.5 acres, they sell, public ko jata. So these speakers are also like that. These speakers, they speak about so many things because public demand is there. It's not public demand. It is, they will get popularity by speaking about so much Gramya Katha. But they will not speak about Krishna Katha, because even if they speak about Krishna Katha, at the home, they are not following any Krishna consciousness. So what is the use of hearing from such speakers? This question has to be raised. Why should we hear from them? Even though their language is good, their expression may be good, everything may be good, but what is the use? There are many, many poets who are describing the naked body of a woman with a wonderful language. Is that very good? So the point, that is why it is said, don't hear from such people. Avaishnavo mukodgirnam. And how dangerous it is? Just like the serpent touching a milk. If a serpent touches the milk becomes poisonous. and if you consume that milk thinking that it is milk, you will die. Similar way, if you hear from people who are not actually Krishna conscious, who are just simply, acting as if they are great devotees or something like that, such people we should never hear from. That is why Prabhupada very much condemning this Bhagavat Saptahas. Bhagavat Saptah, whole business is about business, that's all. How many people are coming, what is the amount, and what amount goes to the speaker, what amount goes for the arrangement, what amount goes for the so-called food distribution. It's all about that. It has nothing to do with actually, uplifting the consciousness of people. And they do all kinds of things in that Bhagavat Saptaha. Sometimes they sing, sometimes they do dancing, all kinds of things they perform in the Bhagavat Saptaha. So, these conditions are important. Hearing means not just you go behind everybody and hear anything and everything. No, one must hear from proper bona fide source. And that is point number one. A bona fide source must be there. And point number two, your attitude towards a bona fide source is very important. Like Maharaja Pariksit, when he saw Sukadeva Goswami, what words he uttered are important. You know what he said? You remember what he said in the previous chapter? He said, Lord Krishna considered my grandfathers as very great devotees, and because I am a relative of these great devotees, so because of their affection, because of Lord Krishna's affection for Pandavas, Krishna has sent you to uplift me and liberate me from this material world. Wow! Amazing glorification this is. Amazing glorification. So realistic, so relevant, and amazing glorification. That means you have to identify a Vaishnava as sent by Krishna. Why anybody would speak anything to you? Everybody is interested in their own life. But if somebody has shown some interest in you, you must see that it is Krishna who has sent that person. Krishna wants to elevate me from this or liberate me from this material world, so Krishna has sent somebody. That is how he saw. And he did not see, I am a great king, I have determined to leave my body in 7 days, so Krishna has sent somebody. He didn't see that. He didn't say that. As if, he's a great king. He's the emperor of the whole of, Bharatavarsha at that time. But the way he has put himself in a very humble position, that I don't have any qualification. He said also, great personalities like you do not even visit a Grahasta's house for a long time. You only visit for that much time which takes to milk the cow. That means 15 minutes, 20 minutes. That's all it takes. So they will not spend time. The great saintly persons don't spend time. They are not interested in the glitters of this material world. Sometimes some very big posh people, they show their house and then they think that some sadhus come to their house, as if they are mesmerized by that house. People are actually, serious spiritualists are not mesmerized by this house. They have come here to give you Krishna Katha or Krishna mantra card or to give you opportunity to do seva. So some of us who are going for this collection or meeting some big people, don't ever be mesmerized by their opulence. Don't be mesmerized by their so-called respect for you. Oh, I have become a brahmachari. This person is living very nicely in the big palatial building. If I become a grahastha, then I can also be like this. These thoughts have come. I have gone through these kinds of things. For many years I have gone through so many big posh houses in Bangalore. We have gone. And so he is saying, my dear sir, you don't come to Grahastha's houses for anything but to actually give them Krishna consciousness. For a little time you come and go. And I am not even a Kshatriya. He says, he calls himself a Kshatra Bandhu. If you have heard that word, Kshatra Bandhu. Kshatra Bandhu means I am not even a Kshatriya, I am a relative of a Kshatriya. If Maharaja Pariksit is Kshatra Bandhu, then what Bandhu we are? Sudra Bandhu, that also is very big. Sudra Bandhu is also very big for us, isn't it? So, the point is that one must have proper attitude. These two conditions are important. One is the person who is speaking, and number two is the attitude with which you approach the person and hear from that person. Then what happens? When there is a proper source and there is a proper receiver, then the whole place becomes purified. The subject matter is about Krishna, the place is purified, the hearer is purified, the inquirer is purified, the speaker is purified, everything gets purified by that one act. The uniqueness of our ISKCON temple, which Prabhupada has made it unique, only because of these discussions that happen every day. And if these discussions do not happen anywhere in ISKCON temple, if Bhagavatam class or Bhagavad Gita class does not happen properly, where there is no proper inquisitiveness amongst the devotees to hear, or there is, a speaker who does not speak out of his realization just to, pass the time if he speaks, that is a very weak temple. So we have to make sure that, every day our Bhagavatam class is very, very importantly, heard. The devotee should speak from their heart. Then you actually get inspiration. Your heart gets purified. That place brings people who are actually interested in hearing. This is the highest thing. If you can get a person to hear, anybody can come and see the arati and then take prasad and go on, that's okay. But if you can make a person sit down and hear about half an hour about Krishna, you are actually getting a very, very qualified person. Future, that person can actually do a lot of service to Krishna. So these are what kind of people we are attracting, depending on what kind of activities you give importance to. We give importance to everything else than Bhagavatam class, and that kind of people you are attracting. And you don't appreciate the inquisitiveness of devotees. One important thing that Prabhupada always encouraged is asking questions after the class. That is very important. Because questions indicate that you are actually interested in the class, you heard the class, you wanted to apply some of the principles that are spoken in the class, then only questions come. Questions will not come if you are very casual in the class. So that is why Prabhupada instituted this Bhagavatam class, this question and answers, and Bhagavad Gita class. Sometimes, we forego Bhagavad Gita class because there are so many people who come and have wanted to have darshan. Whatever people want, that's what we accommodate. If people want everyday yajna and then you get money for yajna, then you may organize a yajna every day. Isn't it? There are temples like that. Or some Satyanarayana Vratam. There are people, who do that in the temples, Vaishnava temples also. So, in this time and days, there is nothing better than hearing about Krishna, discussing about Krishna, talking about Krishna, remembering Krishna. There is nothing superior to this activity. And you can't do it casually, you can't do it for a long time casually unless you have inquisitiveness about Krishna Katha. Just like you remember that example of Narada Muni approaching a Brahmana and a cobbler. Brahmana's interest was not in what Narayana is doing. His interest was when he is going to be liberated. That was his inquisitiveness. So he is already a failure. Whereas this cobbler asked, what Lord is doing? This is called asakti, Krishna asakti. We should actually ask questions like this. One very young fellow who just knew, who after hearing Bhagavatam class, one very, very wonderful devotee gave a Bhagavatam class, and then after the end of the Bhagavatam class, he asked one question. Question is so wonderful. You know what was the question? Sir, you said that this is Vyasadeva Kutumbam, Krishna's family. what is my responsibility towards Krishna's family? Did you ever imagine such kind of a question from a beginner? Even a seasoned, experienced devotee doesn't ask this question. But he's a beginner, but he is asking this question. What is my responsibility towards Krishna's family? Then what level of personalism this must be there? This person must be there to ask such question. These are the best questions. Some of the best questions, which expands the subject matter. In the modern management, they say, don't ask closed-ended questions. Ask open-ended questions. Have you heard that? Anybody in management, they say, ask open-ended questions. Is it true or not? Is it an open-ended question or closed-ended question? Closed-ended question, because the answer is going to be yes or no. But open-ended question means you describe what happened in the temple during Bhagavatam class. Bhagavatam class happened. This is the answer. Will you say that? You won't say that. You have to say some sentences at least. Today in Bhagavatam class, this was discussed. It's an open-ended questions. So in our interactions, what kind of questions that we ask are important. Whether they are related to Krishna and whether they are also open-ended questions where you give opportunity for other person to describe about Krishna, glorify Krishna. And that is proper consciousness. And that is why Maharaja Pariksit is being appreciated by Sukadeva Goswami. What a beautiful question that you have asked. What is the duty of every man, especially the duty of a dying man? And the whole Bhagavatam came from that one question. Whole Bhagavatam. So, I know I have crossed time, almost about time. But I am expecting some questions will come. If you don't ask questions on the topic of questions, what will we do? So I would like to close and see if you have any questions. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much. Very nice class you gave us. Still, though I was sleeping. As you mentioned, after some time we get seasoned in this movement, and then we read here and there, and we develop some analytical ability to, even if there is some question, then we try to analyze and then try to
get answers for
try to
ourselves.
get answer. And if something is beyond our analytical skill, we will ask. So quite often, many times the speaker will explain so nicely, very lucidly. So
you may not get question also.
I may not get the question also.
I know this. So what to do? That's a question, right? The first misconception that we have about Krishna consciousness is we think that Krishna consciousness is information. That is the first misconception. You get a lot of information, especially repeated information you get from different speakers. You think that I've already mastered it. That is one of the biggest misconceptions which should be removed from our brain. Krishna consciousness is realization. It is not information, number one. So realization means what? Whatever you are hearing, you must apply it in your life. If you are not able to apply it in your life, it remains as a useless information which is going to cause a lot of damage to our consciousness. What is the damage? We may become proud of this information and we may try to download this information to others and try to get some appreciation from them. That is the problem with information. So Krishna consciousness is not about information. It is about realization. Realization means practice. Practice means you will get questions. You will get questions. Have you not read theory in your intermediate or in your degree or in your whatever professional colleges? A simple formula like V is equal to IR is what I've read. V is equal to IR is the formula of current. Voltage is equal to resistance into current. But this formula anybody can say it. But when you go to the lab, you need lab assistant. He will put a resistor, he will connect it to a certain voltage, and the bulb will be put, and the bulbs, the glow of the bulb depends on the current that flows in that. And then you keep changing the resistors, the bulb's glow will be different. Have you conducted that experiment in your education? Some of you must be, at least. I have done that. I have no clue about this till the lab assistant comes and tells me. Although I am very pakka about my theory. Similarly, all of us very pakka about theory. What is that theory? Prabhupada said one should get up early in the morning. You don't get up. Prabhupada said one should chant Hare Krishna 16 rounds. You don't do that. Prabhupada said one must follow 4 regulative principles. You don't do that. But you are actually saying all these things. So, questions will come when you want to do it and you need help of a person who has accomplished in doing it. Then you will actually submit yourself to that person. Sir, please help me. How you did it, please help me to do that way. Isn't it true? It is any sphere of life, it is true. Forget about Krishna consciousness. Even if you want to cook, you will go to the kitchen and then get everything organized and then you will be able to cook. Will you be able to cook? You need what? You need help of somebody who is experienced in cooking. They will tell you how much to fry, how much to put, how much when to put, everything. The taste depends on all these factors. So you may say that nowadays people are cooking in seeing YouTube videos. The YouTube is there and they are not looking here, they are looking there, and it is getting burnt. And if it is burnt, they present it as if it's a new item has come. You know that? Whatever is the most useless item, that becomes a new item. Prabhupada gives an example of this, Charlie Chaplin. One day Charlie Chaplin, he was coming for a function and his coat was torn. By the way, you have seen coats which are torn? Which are tucked like this, like A shape. Huh? There was no such a thing like, originally coat was not like that. That whole culture started because it was torn. So then, and there was a ball dance that was going on. So he wanted to participate in that ball dance. So his coat was torn. So what he did, the other side also he tore it. So both sides he tore it and he started dancing on the stage. Then soon everyone was going off the stage and getting, tearing their, both sides of the shirt and coming. And soon it became a fashion. This is true. Prabhupada said that this is how the coat torn is there. The cut in the bush coat, we used to call as bush coat. So this is how, what I am saying is cooking, all new items come like this. Burnt chapati is fried chapati or something like that, whatever it is, or maybe, the rice which is supposed to come in a certain way becomes a fried rice, which fries people. Like that, different manifestations of useless cooking. Our traditional cooking is quite different. Now the pizza, burgers, this and that, all of this actually is offshoot of the original cooking, actually speaking. I am not exaggerating. So, you need help to come to a proper standard of Krishna consciousness. People who are practicing, they can help you. Please do this, please do this. There are nitty-gritties in every practice of everything. Nitty-gritties. Nitty-gritties means, right? There are small things which have to be done right. Those who do small things right, they will definitely do big things, right? Those who think that, small things, it's okay. No, it's not true. So that is my answer. I don't know. I think I have over answered your question, I know, but it's important. Yes,
Hare Krishna ji, thank you very much. You are always present practically. Very helpful to us actually. As you said, the classes, Bhagavad Gita classes in the evening, but we're not very serious because the people coming, they're not interested, just they're sitting. I don't know, I'm thinking, are we giving just a formality? Because it may be good, people like me, as a training ground for me to give a class, but people are not very serious. Is it anything to be done in this regard or something? Because in every temple I'm seeing actually, even big temples,
Classes have to be conducted for people who are inquisitive. So actually speaking, this temple hall is not a good place for conducting class, because temple hall is basically, flooded with people, especially when you are in a city-like environment. It is flooded with people who wanted to come and have darshan and go. And when you actually have a serious class where people are moving around, will you be able to pay attention? You can't pay attention. And you conduct a class in some other place, people don't come only. This is the other problem. Every other temple is facing the same problem. At least darshan ke liye aate to baithenge, nahi to wo bhi nahi hota. So that is why our classes are not very productive as such. You see, so many things are going on. So many people will come, so many activities also go on simultaneously. People have to come for hearing the class. This should be the only exclusive purpose for which you should come for the class, not some side business. वैसे भी दर्शन के लिए आए हैं तो 10 मिनट बैठ जाएंगे, क्या होता है? That is good, but that is not the purpose. The purpose should be higher purpose, exclusively for that purpose. That is why when I give Zoom class, I will not let people put off their camera. Their camera must be on. Only then I give Zoom class. Otherwise I will not give. Because दूध का दूध पानी का पानी निकलता है ना उधर से. You switch off the camera, you can do any damn thing and then say that I am hearing. So that is why Zoom is not a very good platform for speaking Krishna Katha, because people can do anything. So there must be exclusive purpose, must be to have Krishna Katha. Even if it is 10 people, go to other place, go to some quiet place where you actually discuss Krishna Katha. It will do a tremendous good for us than holding just some general class where people are only waiting for when the class will be over. Isn't it? Did we not get that kind of an experience of hearing, sitting in a class and waiting for the class to be over? As if you are sitting in a hot furnace or something like that, when this will be over. That's not at all a good consciousness. That's not at all a good environment in which class must be discussed. Class must be discussed amongst the people who are inquisitive, amongst the people who are actually having realization. And that is the proper platform for class. So the answer to your question is that somebody may speak some things, there will be some general good, but if some time can be taken out where people can discuss amongst themselves seriously Krishna Katha, that will be really, really nice. We have started in 2002 in Hyderabad temple, Abbott's temple, this Bhakti Shastri. This is 2024. 22 years we are going on discussing Krishna Katha. Almost the same teachers, almost the same audience. A lot of wickets fell down, both from teacher's side, also from the audience side, but still the play is on, which is a real amazement for many people, that how you are able to hold so many people for such long time. Something or the other has to change. Either new people have to come, or new speakers have to come, or new subject has to come. And we never crossed first canto Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. All 22 years, only our subject matter is Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Instruction, Isopanishad, Nectar of Devotion, first 19 chapters, and first canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is not easy. If you actually do it, you will know how difficult it is. How difficult it is. How difficult it is to retain people, same people, for the same subject, from the same speaker. Very, very difficult. That means there must be rasa in it. Only then it is possible, otherwise it is impossible. People will become bored. They will just go away. Actually there is so much rasa. We are not rasikas, that is the problem. There is so much rasa in Bhagavatam. It's actually meant for rasikas. Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. So, in the beginning, if we set things right, it will go a long way. In the beginning only, if things are loose, it will become further loose, further loose, further loose. It is bound to happen. Anything else? Yes, Prabhu. Last question for today.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, nowadays there are many Vaishnavas who also do Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Saptah. And if before coming to Krishna consciousness, if someone has heard those Vaishnavas, and because of which he's developed faith on Krishna consciousness, and that was pure Krishna consciousness, nothing like business kind of.
Yeah.
So should we still respect such people who have we have heard from them? Should we still respect those? And
if it is pure Krishna, motivation is the most important thing. If the motivation is pure, the motivation is to discuss Bhagavatam. And one of the things that if in those Bhagavatam Saptahas, there should be one thing that should be clear to the speaker and to the audience, is that it is not a Saptaha. You may speak for 7 days, but Bhagavatam is to be discussed every day. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Prabhupada always emphasized, it is not Bhaktaham, Saptaham Bhagavata Sevaya. It should be Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. It may be a precursor for you to get into Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and discuss. That is the first. If it is a proper Bhagavatam class or Bhagavatam Saptaha I don't want to use because it has become a very different connotation. If it is proper Bhagavatam, the Bhagavatam must be discussed right from the first canto. If anybody is trying to get into some canto, especially the 10th canto, directly it should be condemned. Such classes should never be heard, because that is a direct, the direct disobedience to the instruction given by Acharyas and Bhagavatam itself. Bhagavatam has to go one verse by verse, canto by canto, chapter by chapter, canto by canto. This is the instruction of approaching Bhagavatam. And if somebody goes to the 10th canto directly and then speaks about Krishna Leela, you are directly disobedient to the instruction. So these two things have to be seen. What is subject is discussed, what is the motivation of the people who are speaking and coming. People who are speaking, if they are expecting some kind of money, they are not qualified to speak. People who are coming to hear that Bhagavatam, if they are expecting some punya out of it, they may expect punya out of it, but the speaker has to refute that misconception within the time that is given to him. That you have not come here for punya, it is for bhakti. If he cannot do that, then the whole event is just a pious event, that's all. It is like, it's better than, something is better than nothing, or blind uncle is better than no uncle kind of a situation. But it is not pure. So that is why Prabhupada was very much against this coining that program as Saptaham Bhagavatam. Don't do 7 days. Do 6 days. Do 10 days. But don't do 7 days. You understand, no? Why? Why don't do 7 days? Because it should not be coined like that. Because Bhagavatam happened in 7 days. Everybody imitates. then you become Sukadeva Goswami, then all Parikshits should go to Vaikuntha. Isn't it? Which Parikshit is going to Vaikuntha? Nobody. So that is why don't coin it that way. Do 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, don't do 7 days. You're protected by Prabhupada's instruction by not doing 7 days. Just because 7 days is very popular, if you want to coin that as a Bhagavatam Saptaha in that way, then you also get people who come with that consciousness. Very difficult to elevate them. Sorry, I have the habit of always going late in the class and over answering the questions. I hope you don't mind. Sachinandan Prabhu, will you forgive me for that? And all of you, thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.